everybody is actually looking forward to owning a house.
I was very, very happy when I got the allocation for the house.
Mortgage can actually work in Nigeria.
Good evening and welcome to Everyone Deserves a Home, a documentary by the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria. I am Aisha Mohammed Ahmed, your host. Land is a prerequisite for home ownership. Without proper registration, documentation and legal security, owning a home remains out of reach for Nigerians. That is why efforts are being put in place by stakeholders in the housing sector to make the process of land documentation and registration seamless. In this episode, we focus on a transformative initiative aimed at simplifying land registration and documentation to enhance mortgage accessibility while unlocking new opportunities in the housing sector. The program also has the regular segments like News Diary, Dream Come True, and Feedback, offering you a comprehensive look at FMBN initiatives and their impact. Join me after the break for details, starting with the News Diary. Stay tuned. The program takes off with news highlights of major events around the housing sector. In the news tonight, FBT seeks FMBN support for landmark Lagos housing estates. FMBN, CSCS strengthen ties to optimize mortgage banking and boost efficiency. Stay tuned for these and other stories coming up shortly. The Food, Beverage and Tobacco FOB Senior Staff Association of Nigerian Bottling Company, NBT, Coca-Cola, has expressed interest in partnering with the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria, FMBN, to establish a housing estate for its staff in New Lagos, Lagos State. During a courtesy visit to FMBN's headquarters in Abuja, the National Treasurer of FOB Association was represented by Comrade Makinde Solomon, alongside other cooperative members, soliciting the bank's support and partnership in providing affordable housing solutions for its employees in Lagos.
We are here to solicit the audience of the MD and the Executive Director and the team to partner with us to see how we can get a house for our members in Lagos. And I'm very sure by the time we do this, our numbers will increase again, because many of them that drop out after so many discussions, they came back after we discussed. And when we have something like this ongoing again, I'm very sure everyone that gone away will come back and we'll have more into the fold.
Comrade Makinde further noted that he and the entire delegation were proud beneficiaries of the National Housing Fund (NHF) scheme and serve as ambassadors of the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria. He also praised the bank's effort in driving affordable home ownership in Nigeria.
Today, I want to appreciate FMBN because those of us that came some years back, in fact, I'm a landlord in Abuja now. I live in my house now, so you can see that my voice is more calmer than because I'm not fearing somebody to tell me that, sorry, we are increasing rent next year. So we want to, so also most of us here, almost everybody here, we are all landlord in Abuja today. And when we came to the product, some people, as human beings, had doubts. Some of them pulled out when the tide was serious. But some of us that kept faith with us and kept faith with FMBN today, we are proud and we become the ambassador of FMBN to everywhere we go now. That FMBN is working.
Responding, FMBN's Managing Director, Shehu Usman Osidi, expressed joy at welcoming a delegation made up entirely of NHF beneficiaries, stating that their presence is a strong testament to the scheme's impact.
So I would like to thank you very much for believing in us and for your magnanimity in being our ambassadors. I'm so excited and pleased to hear that you were very persistent and you believed in us as FMBN, and at the end of the day, you were not disappointed. In the history of my career with this bank, I don't think I've seen a delegation where all the members of the delegation are beneficiaries of anything. Even though you occupy a very special place in FMBN, I want to assure you that from today, you are now going to occupy a more special place. Wow. You are a living example of the fact that FMBN is working.
The Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria, FMBN, has reaffirmed its commitment to strengthen collaboration with key stakeholders in Nigeria's financial and housing sectors. This was highlighted during a strategic partnership visit by the Central Securities Clearance System, CSCS, to the bank's headquarters in Abuja. FMBN Managing Director Shehu Usman Osidi underscored the significance of the National Mortgage Registry and the bank's collaboration with CSCS in deepening mortgage penetration, enhancing operational efficiency, securing mortgage assets, and promoting transparency in property transactions. He further acknowledged CSCS expertise in technological infrastructure and its critical role in driving this initiative.
The successful implementation of the National Mortgage Registry requires a robust and efficient system that mirrors an area in which the Central Securities Clearance System has proven expertise and track record. We are therefore keen to explore ways to partner with CSCS, leveraging your experience in secure and efficient asset registration, transparency, and risk management. We believe that a collaborative framework between the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria and the Central Securities Clearance System will not only facilitate the seamless rollout of the registry, but will also enhance the overall credibility and attractiveness of mortgage-backed investments in Nigeria.
On his part, the Managing Director of CSCS, Haruna Jalo Waziri, described the collaboration with FMBN as a strategic step towards unlocking new opportunities and advancing technological innovations in the mortgage sector. He provided insight into CSCS milestones since 2007 and its forward-looking initiatives for 2025, which includes advanced operations, full dematerialization, core technology upgrades, and the deployment of an electronic documentation management (EDM) system. Waziri emphasized that the EDM will enhance work efficiency and significantly reduce paperwork.
So today we have an electronic documentation system that when documents come, whatever form, every single paper that comes, go through that data room, is scanned, is indexed, is boxed, and then it goes through a workflow system. So that box and index goes immediately to archive by end of day, because we don't want to start packing things. So that workflow system is paperless. It goes through all the way. So if you need to minute on anything, you need to add more information, you need clarification. And if you need to retrieve document, you can actually retrieve it electronically. And because it became so good at that, we now started selling that product. And I think we were here some time ago to propose to the bank that maybe they should try and see whether we can do a POC to see how whether it's something that you want to do, especially about your account opening forms, your documents that you kept for so many years are all in files. Can we digitalize them, move them to archive, and you can have easy access?
House in the bag.
House in the bag.
The next time we'll come,
Thanks for staying with us. Efficient land registration is a cornerstone of mortgage financing and home ownership. The process is, however, fraught with challenges, slowing down the process of obtaining titles and therefore affecting the entire process of owning homes. It is in realizing the challenge that inefficient land registration and documentation causes that stakeholders are devising a means to resolve the challenges. In our next segment, Building Blocks, We'll take a look at the National Land Registration and Documentation Program, an initiative aimed at resolving these challenges and unlocking new opportunity in the housing sector. Stay tuned.
Housing is one of the three basic needs of man, alongside food and shelter. Having a place to call home helps in no small way to boost the dignity of man. That is why successive governments in Nigeria have continued to devise ways and means to give Nigerians avenue to own decent homes. The National Housing Fund, administered by the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria, remains a veritable tool for home ownership through various mortgage options. The bank, in carrying out its mandate, is committed to expanding home ownership opportunities by ensuring accessible mortgage financing. However, persistent inefficiencies in Nigeria's land registration system continues to hinder progress, leaving many properties without legal titles and weakening governance structure. To tackle this challenge, the Ministry of Housing and Urban Development, in partnership with the World Bank, launched the National Land Registration Documentation and Titling Program on March 19, 2025 at the Transcorp Hilton, Abuja. This initiative represents a significant step in the current administration to implement long-term reforms, promote public-private partnership in land registration, drive digitalization, and also leverage technology advancement to streamline the process. This was captured in the keynote address presented by the Minister of Housing and Urban Development, Architect Ahmed Lengiwa, during the event.
Our role is to establish a uniform framework that enables states to build credible, efficient, and interoperable land titling and registration systems, fostering national or nationwide integration and functionality. To achieve these objectives, the Ministry in 2024 solicited and secured the World Bank's collaboration on the project. Today's event marks the culmination of a series of engagements between the Ministry and the World Bank, the most recent of which is technical mission to Nigeria in November last year, which included visits to the states such as Kano and Lagos. Partnering with the World Bank gave us access to technical capacity, global best practices, proven technologies, and financial resources.
As outlined by Architect Lengiwa, the ministry has set ambitious goals including registering, documenting, and titling all lands, developing and launching the National Land Information System (NLIS), expanding land registration coverage from under 10% to over 50% within the next decade.
My colleagues from the...
In a goodwill message, the Chairman, Senate Committee on Land, Housing and Urban Development, Senator Amina Tambowal, said the National Assembly is spearheading efforts to advance policies, amend land administrative laws, and address the systematic barriers that hinders national development, especially as it relates to the Land Use Act.
As the legislative arm of government, the National Assembly recognizes its constitutional mandate to advance policies that foster national development. The Senate Committee on Land, Housing and Urban Development is fully committed to providing robust legislative support to ensure the success of this program. These include strengthening land administration frameworks, conducting oversight to ensure accountability, securing sustainable funding for critical initiatives, and collaborating with state assemblies to harmonize land-related statutes. It is an honor for me to be invited here today.
In his address to the gathering of stakeholders, the Managing Director of the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria, Shehu Usman Osidi, addressed the lack of standardized land tenure system, inefficient documentation process, and the absence of national registry, which are significant barriers to home ownership in Nigeria. To address this challenge, the FMBN is actively supporting reforms to streamline land documentation, enhance mortgage accessibility, enhance financial inclusion, and reduce the national housing deficit.
Land administration is a key challenge in Nigeria's housing and mortgage finance sector, with multiple issues that continue to impede progress in effective housing delivery and discouraging investment in real estate development and mortgage financing. These issues include unstandardized land tenure system, cumbersome and expensive documentation, and the absence of a standardized national registry. These barriers make it difficult for individuals and institutions to access affordable housing finance and directly contribute to the worsening case of the nation's housing deficit. The Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria, as Nigeria's foremost provider of affordable housing finance, recognizes the importance of efficient land registration and documentation in enhancing mortgage accessibility and promoting financial inclusion. A well-structured and digitized land administration system will reduce transaction costs, improve transparency, enhance credit security, and stimulate housing finance activities. It will also facilitate seamless title registration, which is a prerequisite for mortgage creation and access to housing and construction finance.
OCD said that in line with the bank's commitment to expand home ownership opportunities for Nigerians, the FMBN is to set up a national mortgage registry and the implementation of the National Land Registration System to create a more transparent framework for land documentation.
The Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria has commenced action towards the establishment of a national mortgage registry, a key deliverable under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's renewed hope agenda to facilitate property transactions for the development of the housing and urban development sector. A digital platform has been created known as the NMR app, and it is currently undergoing a test run. We are therefore delighted by this initiative as it aligns with our commitment to expanding homeownership opportunities for Nigerians and promoting financial inclusion.
Today you've got a system that
The World Bank, as a partner in the initiative, reaffirmed its commitment to poverty eradication and sustainable development. The bank pledged its continued support for reforms aimed at ensuring a more efficient land registration system.
the Presidential Technical Committee on Land Reform that has done a lot of work in terms of at the federal level, preparing some regulations about sectional titling, about systematic land tenure registration. There are even some proposal to create registries in local government authorities and so on. So there's a lot of thinking and very good ideas we've seen. They're mostly from 2015-17. But we also see a lot of at the state level, a lot of the states have also taken initiatives. We've seen how many geographic information system agency. I mean, today we heard there were like River State, Kitsuna. There is. We went yesterday. We were in Kaduna. Kano has done that. Lagos, and we can see a trend here in creating these institutions that really have the mandate to work on that.
The workshop brought together critical stakeholders, including policymakers, mortgage institutions, international development partners such as the World Bank and government officials, with a shared vision, which is to develop a transparent, efficient, and standardized land registration system that will drive growth and stability in the housing sector.
With a round of applause. Thank you.
Welcome back. And if you're just joining us, the program is Everyone Deserves a Home. The vision of the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria to provide access to affordable home ownership is already a reality for some Nigerians. In this segment, we meet one of the beneficiaries who shares her inspiring journey to home ownership and the steps she took to turn her dream into reality. She offers valuable insight for others on the same path. Stay with us as we share this journey.
I can assure all Nigerians that if you apply, once it is available, you will get.
Definitely the scheme is real.
It's a big testimony to stop paying rent.
Excellent. Seriously excellent.
It works and is real.
Mrs. Charity Joshua is a proud owner of a two-bedroom semi-detached bungalow at La Paix Estate, Karu, Abuja. Their journey to home ownership began in 2018 when her husband, who works with the Ministry of Power and Steel, was told about the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria by a colleague.
It's around 2018 in their office. A colleague of his now tell him about the estate listing, the mortgage bank, because we have some issues around Masaka area about this landed property. So my husband built house there, reached linter level. So after some months, we are just hoping to go and roof the place. Hopefully December we'll just pack in. So we don't even know what is going on there. One of his friends had called him that this is what is going on, or they demolish all the place. 2018, as we heard the news all over, so I pressurized my husband to fill the form. He collected the form, we filled the form 2019. After that, we waited for, they will tell us this year, next year, they will come and video the places and show them online. We are hoping, praying that maybe one day it will come to pass. And Kuma God has made our dream come true. Through this mortgage, now we are a landlord of ourselves. We don't have any issue about tenant, landlord issue, or any other caretaker.
The repayment arrangement for them is suitable.
We are paying quarterly payment because before, like, let me say, from that April that we entered this house to this month, my husband have paid last month, and he did not even complain to me because he said for him to be paying that amount for our house rent, it's better for him to be paying, even if it is monthly, for him to be paying that amount is okay for him, than for him to be paying that amount in a rented house.
She has a call to Nigerians who are still doubtful of the reality of the mortgage system to embrace mortgage as a good option to home ownership.
Mortgage is real. That's all what I want to say now. Mortgage is real because it will ease you from any landlord wahala, as I've earlier said it. Because for you to be paying house rent that is not belongs to you in a nearby future, it's better for me to collect mortgage house in 10 years or 100 years. Even if I was not around, maybe by that time I've already gone, my children will enjoy it. That's my advice for Nigeria. For you to sit down for tenantship, it's better for you to collect mortgage, to be paying small. By time goes on, you pay all and the house will be yours.
Mrs. Charity Joshua commends the FMBN and the developer of the estate for the wonderful initiative which has fulfilled her dreams of owning her home.
That wraps up today's episode. Remember, the FMBN remains committed to making home ownership a reality for Nigerians. For more information, visit any of our branch offices or check www.fmbn.gov.ng. You will be glad you did. And if you are an NHF contributor, dial *219# to track your contributions. See you next time, same station. Until then, take care.